There's really not too much preparation. Really, the questions you need to ask yourself about 6.1 is, what do I want to do in 6.1? If your goal is just to go on and experience the new content, no prep required. I mean, experiencing the new content is a matter of getting Endwalker completed, so that would be the only real prep you need to do for the new 6.1 content, but other than that, no real prep required. However, if you're a Savage Raider, there's probably going to be some, if you want to do the new ultimate, there's going to be some prep required. Namely, you need to get P4S killed. You need to get the 4th fight of Pandemonium killed, so that you can even access the ultimate, but you probably also want to get Best in Slot. Best in Slot will be easier to acquire due to the fact that the Alliance Raid will be dropping upgrade materials for Tome Gear. And then the Endwalker weapon will be available. Alright, so let's take a look over these patch notes here. So there's going to be a new main scenario quest. The big thing, we don't really know too much about this, so I'm not going to go into too much detail because it's spoilers, but you need to have Endwalker completed, obviously. It's going to be some interesting content. Definitely not as high stakes as the campaign has been so far, but I think it's still definitely going to be worth the time and investment. Like, no doubt about that. The new Alliance Raid will be dropping. Probably as a min eye level requirement. Looks pretty interesting. Supposed to bring us more information about the 12. Well, a wild take here. Most Alliance Raids have 4 bosses in them. There's 3 Alliance Raids for a grand total of 12. I think that's a very particular number, and I'm excited to see what's happening. New role quest, so if you complete... In particular, this is referring to, you must complete... So, Endwalker has a role quest. Basically, there's a quest for tanks, there's a quest for healers, there's a quest for ranged physical, there's a quest for melee, and then there's a big quest line for casters, or magical DPS. If you complete all 5 of those, which basically requires having 1 of each at max level, there will be a new quest to undertake. I know very little about it. Obviously, it seems to involve Fortuno, but we'll see how that goes. And then New Game Plus will become available. Very cool. Certain main scenario requests for Realm Reborn have been revised, so this is the big changes that they're in particular doing to Praetorium. They're kind of splitting Praetorium up. For those of you who are Praetorium gamers, it will be a little different. The big thing is they're cutting out La Habre will become a single person instance, so it'll no longer be a fight you have to do at the end of Praetorium. The Ultima weapon fight will be its own separate trial now. So basically, Praetorium as you know it will end with the fight with Gaius on the elevator. Grand and free companies. Alright, more symbols so you can customize your grand company a little more. So I was talking about this one in our FC today a little bit, but I think this is a little garish. Like, it's cool, but I can imagine somebody, getting a knock on the HOA door here. They're just like, hey, your house is made out of perishable food. We gotta do something about that. It's clearly an issue. Alright, here's the big stuff. Housing. More housing. Plots of land in Imperium can now be purchased. Plots of the Ocean and David are now available for purchase. So all those Oceanian people are going to have a massive house rush or massive land rush. Lottery system for the purchase of land has been implemented. So for those people who are not aware, lottery system will work in a very particular way. There's another post somewhere about it, but basically, yeah, additional plots and purchasing. Copy link address. I'm going to throw it in the chat for you guys here. I'll also include it in the video later on. The big thing to understand is that there's going to be a period for where you can sign up for a lottery. You can only sign up for 1 house at a time. You put a deposit down. If you don't win, you get the deposit back. If you do win, you own the house. So basically, the lottery period will exist for about 3 days, and then there'll be a claiming period for another set period of time. Prevent the reselling of plots. Players must now remain in a free company for a minimum of 30 days before they're allowed to purchase a free company plot. Yeah, so this is supposed to stem the tide, although frankly, I think they could have gone a little harder about essentially preventing free company resale. So this is cool. Manderville Gold Saucer. We can get this new... This is a mount, by the way. This is a mount. For those of you who have played Nier Automata, this should look pretty familiar. This is the survey drone. And you can fly it around. Very cool. Let's put it back on the cat. I think chat likes the cat. Does chat like the cat? I think chat likes the cat. Okay, this is a contentious bit here. The Frothgar Haircuts. Because they remove the ears. Which, it just looks so weird. Like, you might like, hey, knock knock, hello. And then they turn around and that's what they look like. It's just like, what the fuck? Yeah, there's a lot of controversy around this. I have no stake in it because I don't play Hrothgar, but it does seem to be very bizarre, and I think it's even worse when you consider certain options that were previously designated as facial features, such as, yeah, they're bad. Bangs and sideburns have been moved to the hairstyle section. So this is good. This here is fine. This is saying that they're making it a little easier to actually customize your character. You don't have to use a Fantasia for certain things. That being said, it's almost like, now why do you care about Fantasia? Because it looks terrible. Like, these new haircuts, they might as well not exist. I'm never going to I am willing to bet you a lot of money that if this goes on implemented the way it is, I am never, ever going to see some Hrothgar running around looking like this. It's going to be hot garbage. And then here we go. Here's bunny boys and bunny girls, and they look great. Look at that new haircut. I like the sidewinder. The sidewinder's great. Like, makes me want a Fantasia right now. It's bad. It's bad. I'm not gonna lie. I understand the frustration for Hrothgar. I feel like an afterthought. Duty support. A system that allows solo players to tackle duties with the party NPCs has been added. So this is cool. This is cool. Allows people to get through the game in a kind of in the different rate. They're going to add Heavensward and everything else later. So basically, for those of you who are not in Shadowbringers, there's a system called Trust that allows you to do dungeons with NPCs instead of players. Quite a bit slower, but allows you not to rely on queue, and also some people might enjoy the solo play more, just in general. So that's going to become an option for a rubber board content. And they're also changing some dungeons so it's a little easier for NPCs to get through it. And this is what it kind of looks like. You got, here's Satasha, Bowl of Embers, Brayflox Longstop. Looks like they got everything here. Unending Codex. This is basically a, it's an encyclopedia. They're putting an encyclopedia in the game so you can read more about your favorite characters, NPCs, and more. I like they're making that really nice and accessible. Someone had to put effort into this. It's cool. Ultima's Bane Unreal is now available, and you can get this mount for faux leaves. That looks kind of, that's a troll mount, that's what it is. Looks kind of cute, silly at the same time. It looks like a really weird dog, if I'm being like completely honest, but I'm still gonna go for that mount. Why would I not, you know? Yeah. Why would I not go for that mount? New emotes. How could we not have our Warrior of Light slamming their own fist? That's such a classic. New dungeon. Of course, there's no information here. They're trying to keep it spoiler-free. And Singer's Aria. That's the new trial that's going to be available. New Extreme will be available. Ultima's Bane will be... Unreal will be available. That's going to be fun. Players now be right... Oh, this was a fun bit here. So there are certain instances where if you die in them, especially in A Realm Reborn or Heavensward content, there are a lot of dungeons where when you die by falling off the edge, you stay dead, you are unresable. So namely, the most notable one is the Naval Titan. This is very notable. So now you'll be brought back up to the top and resable. So I think it'll be a little bit easier, a little bit more forgiving. You can't as hard wipe as easily. Gunbreaker, Dancer, Reaper, and Sage weapons are now available from coffers that appear after completing the Minstrel's Ballad, Thordrin's Reign. So this is almost confirms for sure that the weapons coming out of the Ultimate are going to be Thordrin weapons or Knights of the Round weapons. The dungeon, or the Alliance Raid dungeon, Aglaia, has been added. Now we can fight this absolute unit and see Thal's balls for real. Look, I'm into it. Item level 565. So your item level has to be a little bit higher than what your job. So actually, you know what? This is an important note from what I said earlier about if you want to go in and do the new content, you have to complete the Endwalker main scenario, no problem. You also have to have a little bit higher than 560 item level. Because your job will give you item level 560, but you need a little higher than that. So Tome Gear, or I should say the basic Tome Gear is 570, and then the cooler stuff is 580. So really you just have to get a couple pieces of gear and you'll just be able to. You can also buy 580 classical gear off the market board. So that's all you really need, and then you'll be able to be closer to 580 and then be able to do this. So that's one thing you have to do. You'll need a little bit of gear in order to get into the Alliance 3. The big thing is you'll be able to get this Aglaia Coin. And what does that do? Well, the Aglaia Coin is going to be used to, you can exchange it to upgrade 590 Tome Gear into item level 600 Tome Gear. To give you an idea, that is the best gear you can equip right now. It is the highest item level gear you can equip. So your Tome Gear, this is the, if you don't Savage Raid, this is the tier that you'll be able to get to item level 600 on your character. So look forward to that. You'll have to clear, you can only get one Aglaia Coin per week. You also get these with sacks of nuts. What am I saying? I kind of forgot about that. Yeah, so you can do hunts and get a bunch of sacks of nuts and trade it for upgrade gear. So it won't take weeks. What am I saying? If you really want to grind it out, you can get a bunch of upgrade materials pretty quickly. The actual acquiring of Tome Gear is they didn't mention increasing the cap, so it's still 450 cap for tomes that you use to get gear. Adjustments have been made to the following dungeons. Oh, here we go. Copperbell Mines. All of these bosses have been adjusted. Hopefully Copperbell Mines isn't the most miserable dungeon in the world. I mean, it probably still will be because your item level sinks so low, but like, maybe it won't be miserable. Maybe it'll be slightly less miserable. Oh well. 1,000 Maws of Todorok. Certain mechanics in the battle with Graphius has been adjusted. I can't remember who Graphius is. Oh, I think that's the final boss. Extensive changes to general progression dungeons have been implemented. They've removed a lot of the slow patches, so if you guys don't remember Todorok, actually, here we go. Let's do this here. I don't think it's gonna look like this anymore. I think they're adjusting it. I didn't even realize there were that many photocells in that place. Anywho, it's apparently gonna be a lot less miserable. Cape Westwind is changed to an instance quest battle to be undertaken solo. Bye-bye Cape Westwind. If you want to get it in, you've got till Tuesday. You've got Saturday, Sunday, and Monday to do Cape Westwind as a trial one more time. So get your kicks in. There will no longer be no Cape Westwind. You're gonna have to say goodbye to Sass. Castro Meridium is now a 4-person instance, as well as the Praetorium. They were changing, looks like all of these bosses. Changes to progression changed. They're going to be completely different instances. I might actually try, maybe it's something I'll do. Maybe we'll get some people from chat involved, and we'll do Praetorium and Castro Meridianum, the new versions, the 4-man versions. Okay, this was something that I heard a lot of people talking about. It'll take longer for the screen to darken after a party KO during the following duties. So, all of the Savage and the new trial will take longer for the screen to go black, so that you might have more time to tell what killed everyone, or see how a mechanic would resolve. As a measure to prevent illicit activity, the timing of contact prohibition, escape prohibition, and the Epic of Alexander ultimate has been adjusted. I've heard about this. I've heard that there was a bug that people were exploiting, and that this is a bug fix, that they were able to just avoid these mechanics. Good for me. Adjustments have been made to Bojan's Southern Front, and Zadnor. Lost Finds Cache, experience points buff, and experience points buff. Cool. I guess let's try to incentivize more people to do Dalriata and Battle of Castrum Lacus Littori, because apparently they were not doing them before. Rival Wings will be unavailable for a little bit. Okay. And then we've got the Crystalline Conflict, which is basically... It looks like a MOBA. I'll be real with you guys. Gotta maintain control over a tactical crystal, which must be transported to a designated location in battle. There's 3 arenas. It looks like this one is very Charlayan themed. The volcanic heart seems to take place below Hell's Kier, or near Hell's Kier. Cool. And then this one just seems to take place... Cloud9, I'm not sure. So you have casual matches, custom matches, and then ranked. So casual and ranked, really. Custom matches, you can kind of do whatever you want. Victory conditions. To win, one team must move the tactical crystal from the center of the field to the goal point. If neither team accomplishes during the time limit, the match will proceed into overtime. The team with the greater progress score must keep the entire opposing team out of the bounds of the tactical crystal for 3 seconds to win. The team with the lesser progress score must beat the opponent's progress score during overtime to win. The match can end in a draw, it looks like, if it goes on for too long, which is good. Tactical crystal will remain bound until the first 30 seconds of the match have passed. Once the tactical crystal is unbound, a ring will appear at its base. Should one team be fully in control of this ring, with no members of the opposing team present within its bounds, the team will be able to move the crystal. Oh, so it's not really like a MOBA. It's like those game modes where you have to push something. Dedicated path. Movement will be halted when combatants from both teams are present within its bounds. When combatants from neither team are present, the crystal will move back towards the center point. CC will be so important in this battle mode. Oh, for sure. Like the ability to slow or stop someone outside of the bounds so that you keep the crystal moving. Especially if they're coming from the wrong direction. You managed to reclaim it. It might be pretty good because it'll force a lot of combat because, you know, you want to be inside the crystal radius, so you can't just be far away and, you know, pick at people. Should the tactical crystal be wrestled from your team's control and you manage to reclaim it, the crystal will travel faster when moving back through a stretch of the line your team has moved it once before. Okay. Oh, you have checkpoints of progression. Okay, so you have these checkpoints that you must remain in for a certain period of time. Checkpoints can be found halfway between the center point and each team's goal. Upon reaching a checkpoint, the tactical crystal will stop moving. Alright. Team attempting to clear the checkpoint must remain in the crystal's ring until the clear progress reaches 100%. The gauge will only increase so long the team holds control of the ring. A greater majority of party members in the ring will hasten the gauge progression. Opposing team have a greater majority at any point, the tactical crystal will begin moving towards the opposing team's goal. However, any progress made in clearing the checkpoint will not be lost. Okay. Okay, I see. So that does feel very MOBA-like. These increase your speed, so you can move through the map more quickly with these. So it's in the Paliestra and the Volcanic Heart. Jump glyphs. Cloud9 has jump glyphs. Cool. Oh, you have Eruption. Volcanic Heart periodically erupts, scattering self-destructing bombs across the field. Those who fail to avoid their explosive radii will take damage. Bomb cores will remain at site of bombs' destructions, granting those who acquire them bonuses damage dealt, and limit gauge increases. That's cool. Those who do not wish to go so Cloud9 has tornadoes, and you can get these black chocobo feathers. Looks like there's unique rewards too. But this looks kind of cool. It looks looks like something I really need for my Dark Knight. Kind of looks like something from, looks like that armor set from Dark Souls 3 with the Soul Cinder War. That's what it reminds me of. Oh, the new Garo collab is back. Let's take a look at this here. I don't know what Garo is, so... It's like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, kind of? I might be wrong on that front. It might have been nothing like this. Cool. Oh. All right. Can I get that mount? I want that mount. Okay, these armor sets are kind of cool. Oh, is that the Dark Knight stuff? Hell yeah. They're bringing back the collab. Oh, that's wicked. Hell yes. This is just nothing but like unadulterated like hype, really. I don't even know what Gyro is. I'm assuming it's just kind of like a Mighty Morphin type thing. I grew up with Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, so I'm assuming this is something pretty similar. New items. Oh, so this is the Aglaia gear. Looks pretty cool. I'll zoom in a little more here. It's kind of low quality, but whatever. Looks like caster, healer. This is tank. This seems like maybe striking and maiming, but I'm not sure. Maybe this is maiming. Striking. This is maybe this is rogue. This is scouting. Maybe this is bard. Like so. Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll find out. I can tell this got. This is the new recipes. This looks pretty cool. This. I noted someone sent this picture before. This looks suspiciously like my actual character. You can't see it from here, but these have glasses too. So it's a little hat and a little glasses. This looks kind of cute. I kind of wish I could wear the male version though. I kind of actually like this more than actually this jacket. But items. Oh, this is cool. So a lot more items have now become. You can equip them regardless of gender, which is super cool. In particular, the Rathalos armor too. A lot of that looks really cool, but you might not like what you have for your gender, so equipping the other gender is cooler. One has catch-up gear in the form of the crafted gear can be upgraded to 590 too. So not only can you get 590 gear and then slowly upgrade it to 600, but all your 580 crafted gear you can purchase hand certificates and rain in order to turn it into 590 gear. You purchase rain with tomes, and then you turn in your 580 gear for certificates. Crafted piece. Now I will say this. The 580 gear can be over-melded, or pentamelded. So if it's already pentamelded, it's probably only a very tiny upgrade, if at all, to go to 590. Because this 590 gear, the augmented, it would be called the augmented classical gear, can only be melded with 2 slots of materia, so it might not be a huge upgrade if your 580 gear is already pentamelded, but if it's not, worth it 100%. Oh, that's cool. Able to check the required collectability of crafted items during synthesis. So one thing is, if in order to turn in collectibles for crafting, you only get returns if the collectability is high enough. But you can only find collectability via going to the NPC that accepts collectibles. Here, the change to the UI is such that you'll be able to see what the collectability is that you need to get to turn it in, whether that be the low tier, the middle tier, or the high tier. That way you no longer have to worry about it. So this is a really good UI change. This is a big change right here. The following adjustments have been made to glamour plates. Maximum available number of plates has gone from 15 to 20. Now you can have a glamour plate for every job, except for Disciple of Hand and Land. For every combat job, you can have a unique glamour plate. Change pose emote while you're using fashion accessories. So you can use change pose and you'll put your umbrella on your shoulder. How cute. So you can filter out so you can see, if you're on the market board, you want to see orchestrion rolls, mounts, bardings, or minions that you haven't collected yet. You can filter out unobtained or unregistered, which is super nice. It's something that I've always been like, I've done a couple times where I thought like, oh, I don't have this orchestrion roll, so I bought it and realized I already had it, so I had to resell it for lesser value. Very nice quality of life change. Oh, adventure plate. So you have this little customizability that you'll be able to, if somebody inspects you, they'll be able to see this. You know, you can set this custom pose, say what you're looking for when you're available for content. So it's kind of cool. This could be like a vague recruitment tool. Look at that. Look at all those cute little poses. This person can say, hey, I've got a cool little store open. You can go and buy stuff from me. You can link it with a gear set too. Okay. When you go to bed, you can hit dream fitting. You can look at how things on the online store would look on your character. Automatically target enemies when executing target-based attacks have been added. So this is nice if for some reason if you fail to target someone when you're hitting a weapon skill, it will auto-target either the nearest target or one within line of sight, I guess. We'll see what the settings are, and I'm going to probably play with it come patch day on Tuesday. But that's everything. Thank you all for joining. That is 6.1 in a nutshell, but just to re-summarize, a lot of good quality of life changes coming in 6.1. Adventurer plate, a bunch of small little settings, things that kind of were annoying. No job changes mentioned here, but that's okay. That always comes later. If you're a casual player, you just want to experience new content, I think basically all of the casual content can be experienced as long as you've completed Endwalker and are at item level 565. If you want to raid the new Ultimate, which will release 2 weeks after Tuesday, you need to complete P4S, and you probably want to be close to best in slot. And it's going to be a tight DPS check, I am sure. Means getting your 605 weapon from raid and 600 item level gear from raid, looking in the balance and seeing what your best in slot is, and acquiring that. But you definitely need to clear P4S. So that is it. I want to thank everyone for coming today, and yeah, we'll transition here. I'm gonna go to bed. It's pretty late for me, but love y'all and be safe out there.